I love whenever I interview, especially like, yourself and other chefs here in Miami, when you guys do kind of go abroad, shall we say, and by abroad I mean south of Broward.
New York, 2
Yeah,
hours.
exactly, like south of Broward. I mean, north of Broward. I love how you guys, and I'll bring it back to you, how you so just genuinely represent the culture in a way that doesn't seem like, you were just saying like, oh, it's calculated spontaneity and all this and that, but it doesn't seem forced or fake or americanizado, shall we say, right? Have you gotten any pushback at all, like showing up and just trying to be like, even the platano thing, right? It wasn't, you didn't call it like a plantain, it was like, oh, it's a platano. Like,
I never focus on pushback. I don't focus on what other people are saying or doing. And sometimes I've done things on TV that they have been on my ear, and afterwards there's repercussions and things like that. Whatever. So I have to be my most authentic self, and that includes when someone like when a gringa says something that they're like platano, I'm like platano. Like, we have to coquito, I'm like coquito.
right.
Like, vaca frita, vaca. I'm
Put
like,
the
no,
emphasis in the right place.
So
yeah.
and it's just not only is it funny for TV, but it's a great moment to teach them something about your culture.
But if it doesn't have any nuts in it, then I'm going to share it with Junior. I don't know what it is, but we're going to talk about that later. I am here, everybody, with Chef Chris Valdes. Welcome back.
Yes.
When was the last time you were on the show?
Like 25 years ago.
I know, it was weird because we were both embryos.
Yeah.
When we did that episode.
I know I was, but
it's well, I was a toddler. It was the first in utero episode we've ever done.
But I know definitely it was one of I think you guys were a year into this.
Like a year or two, yeah.
So
because
I'm
we
happy
met
that
at Croqueta Palooza.
Yes, we met at Croqueta Palooza. Yes, it's coming to me now. And but I know that it was at the beginning when you guys were starting off. I don't even know if you had this logo. So all I know is that I got an amazing friendship out of it, and we've been able to support each other throughout each other's career throughout the year. So I think that that's what matters there.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you're back. You're back in our new studio.
I'm back.
What do you think?
I'm back in the studio and the
I'm
podcast.
gonna tell everybody though, it's been hell because you are so busy, and I love that.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to have it. How long have I been annoying the hell out of you?
For I think more than a year. And I'm like, I'm taking a break. I need some time to myself.
But you're busy.
And every month you're like, is your break over? I'm like, I need a longer break, please. I've been saying no to everyone. I even said no to the top morning TV show. And I've just been saying no. It's my favorite word to say for the past couple of months, just because I was really respecting the journey I was on and just resting. And sometimes just all of this could get very fuzzy in your head with the cameras and the being on a schedule and knowing what to say and when to say it and how to say it. So definitely I just needed a break. And I think you were a reminder of that each month that you were
that you needed a break. That was the reminder.
Like,
He's like,
can you come on the show now? And you do it on my DMs, and I'm like, and I would leave you on red, and then you'd go to my text cell phone, and I'm like, no, I'm still taking my break, please.
I am nothing if not persistent.
Yeah, but I know you mean it from a good place. Anyone else would have gotten blocked.
Okay, all right. Well, it's just because I like you. Like you said, I mean, we're friends.
Yeah.
The fact that like I have your number, you have my number. It's not just, oh yeah, you've been on the show and we know each other or whatever. It's like, no, sometimes we just text and eat shit, and all that.
No, we do send each other. And I remember one time I even gave you the address to my house and I told you, come pick up some food or something.
You had made, what was it that you were making? Was it around?
And you were lucky to get that because if I'm not mistaken, that was during Thanksgiving or Christmas time or something.
It was the holidays, but was it during COVID?
No, it was not during COVID.
No, right? It was
I know I was very busy and I was questioning why the hell I was giving you free food.
But you did.
But I know
tamales.
Huh?
Were they tamales?
No, yo no hago ningún tamale.
I'm trying to think, what the hell was it?
I mean, I make tamales, but not to give away.
Well, you made something and it was delicious, and it was like a holiday weekend.
Yeah. What was it? Coquito?
No. It was food.
It was food.
It was food, and it was in like a Tupperware.
I don't remember.
You know what? Anything pre-COVID,
But it wasn't pre-COVID. That was after COVID.
It was after COVID?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm just old.
It happens.
It happens.
I'm sorry.
We age.
Yeah, you age.
You'll get there eventually,
Hey,
all right?
I'm 34 and I haven't not even 1 inch of Botox or anything, which nothing against it.
We talked about this
but
last
luckily, I don't have to tocar nada todavía. Not from here, at least.
Well, I don't.
No, I'm joking. Everything else is in its place.
Well, you're
Don't
hitting
worry.
the gym a lot.
no, that's
I
good.
see you with your CrossFits and
No,
your,
yeah. No, and now I've been getting the personal trainers from CrossFit and defining, refining certain areas. And let me tell you, I was like, whoa, there's a whole universe of possibilities there.
This there is. I was saying, I'm
Yeah.
like listening to your forums. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're like,
But I
the
told
veins
you,
are popping.
I've always had veins. I've
like you're
always
a
been,
heroin addict's dream.
I've always been like a veiny guy. What did you say? What? No. No, I don't do. And I'm also.
I didn't say you did it. I
and
just
I'm
said
also
they would
afraid
love
of needles.
needles.
So,
Okay, so no.
Yeah.
No heroin.
That's why I go to other things. No, I'm joking. I'm old
See,
school.
This is why he didn't want to come on the show because he knew he was just
No,
gonna like
no,
get
no,
in
no.
trouble.
I'm old school. A little alcohol, and that's it. That's
Okay.
You get me 3 drinks, and I'm already spilling the secrets.
I've been
I'm
to your
joking,
party.
I'm not.
I've been to your
wait,
parties.
No, wait, but you're my friend, so I've told you my secrets because where something happens usually in the parties, there's a lot of things that happen.
Exactly.
And the specific party you're happening, there was probably like 600 people there, where all the attention is so. I get to see all these things happening in real time, and I don't mind sharing some of them. But yes, I know specifically what you're talking about.
So,
Yeah. And mind you, that day was not. There's always a lot of things to happen, even on TV, behind the scenes that people
100%.
don't see, and that they don't think that I go through. So by the time you got to me, I had already been a few mixed drinks.
You had a couple
in.
relaxing drinks. It was to just
The
get
drinks
you-
were relaxing. Everything prior to that was not relaxing, but whatever. It helps me.
But you had a good time, and you always throw a great party.
Y me tiré en la piscina afterwards with my
see, I
whole
wasn't there
suit.
for that.
Yeah. Well, then that was another different group of friends. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that. But let's talk about your annual pre South Beach Wine and Food Festival party. I have to say, number one, I've been going to it now. You've invited us for several years, and it's always one of my favorite events. I'm not saying it because you're here. It's always one of my favorite events just because it's fun and it is the right way to kick off
Yeah.
the weekend, especially not for us, as you as well.
Yeah.
It's like, no, once that festival starts, you're in the booth
Yeah.
and you're working.
Yeah.
But going to your event, at least for me, is like, okay, it's the one night we get to like party and have fun before we have to like be on.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring that up, number one, to thank you on air for inviting us. But also, what I was just saying, I also understand that it's your party and all the attention is on you and and all of that. And I know one of your big things that you focus on is mental health.
Right.
And we were talking about how you like, I need to take a step back and all of that. What has that been like for you? Just kind of being able to take that step back, because a lot of people can't, and you still managed to successfully. I mean, you put out a book, you had a show on Roku, like you were super active. And at what point did you just kind of go like, I need to get back to Chris?
Yeah. So, and by the way, we love having you everywhere in everything we do. But the Eats event that we do with the Lowe's has been such a popular event. We've done it 4 years now. It's going to go to its 5th year, which we are doing it next year. And I love it because every year you're like, are you doing this thing? We haven't even gotten an invitation. So, and I'm like, yes, they're coming out. We just leave it to make it, be more exclusive. And also we're putting all the last pieces together. But it is a fun event. And yeah, even though the attention's on me, I try my very best not to, it's just, whatever, I'm there. But for me, it's all about the food. For me, it's about the culture and what food does of bringing people together. And that's the idea and the vision I had and that I continue to have each year for that.
You executed it very
bringing
well.
foodies together and just bringing us people from Miami that we know how to just get together and make a big party. That's what we know how to do. So,
but can I say something though? What I love about it though is, you said, bringing foodies together, but I feel like it's not just foodies. And that's one of the reasons that I love the event, because like, I don't think I'm a foodie, right? I just love to eat.
yeah.
But I think you have a nice mix. you know,
I think so.
I don't feel like it's a fake party.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying to you, and I think that's a testament to who you are.
Yeah,
as a person.
yeah, and the thing is that everyone looks at foodies like if I'm just inviting influencers, and you've been there's politicians, there's celebrities, there's local media people, there's a whole bunch of un arroz con pollo, no?
Arroz con mango, more than
Arroz con
arroz.
mango, yeah, un arroz con pollo y mango. But I feel that for me, what foodies means is just we're all foodies. We all love food. It's the one thing that unites everyone. So that's what just brings us together. And that's how I determine what foodie is. I'm not just
Okay.
inviting.
Never heard it that way.
How many followers do you have? 3,000? Oh, you're not invited. Like, no, I'm not focused on that. So, and that's what I love about it. It does create a good mix of people that we're all just looking at each other and we're interacting with each other. As when you go to just foodie influencer events, it could get boring. You're like, oh, so what'd you do this week? You posted your new whatever
See
brand,
the
etc.
dish or whatever.
So
yeah.
there it just becomes like competition and things like that. So here we just like to let's just have fun, enjoy food, have a few drinks, and yeah, just enjoy. And then and the funny thing is, a lot of people call it the kickoff of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, and I always tell people like it's not the kickoff, because legally,
Officially, he cannot make that. I'm saying it
but
is.
everyone
You can't say
calls it that. So, but yeah, it's the Wednesday before the event starts. The event starts on Thursday, and we get all of the attention of the first day that we kick off the festival.
He's like, I'm not official, but I get all the attention.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I just think it's a genius collaboration that we're doing with the Lowe's and all of the sponsors involved, and it just works out. So, but going back to the mental health, I last year in October I did my last national TV appearance, and right after I just had a mental breakdown, and this had been coming for months. I had a just a painful breakup, and that really made me focus a little more on every aspect of my life, who I surround myself with, who I give my time to, what I give my time to, what do I want, my beliefs, my purpose, my everything, and to start taking a little more initiative with purpose. Like, is there a purpose for me doing this? If the answer is no, why am I doing it? So I just was reevaluating everything in my life, and I took a little note from my younger self when I was 26. I had gone through a breakup, and what I did and what I focused on was my career. And within a year, I was already booked on Food Network Star, and it did wonders. So I thought this time around, I'm like, oh, I know what I need to do. I just need to work more.
Throw yourself into the...
And it was not working. I met with top executives from, a big network, and I bombed the meeting.
Really?
I left. Well, when you leave those places and there's not even a follow-up or a deal, you kind of, I was unprepared. I should have never gone to that meeting. I got lost on my way there. I was, I made the person laugh. We were there laughing, but afterwards it was just, horrible. Then we go to the national show in October, and I did great, but just afterwards, when I get back in the car, before and after, I just lost it. I started crying on the plane. I started crying. The plane attendant asked me, are you okay? Do you need something? I'm like, no, it's just you gave me ice cream fudge sundae. It was on the first class, and they give these little. I didn't even know they did that.
The desserts.
But I was like, it just brings me back to childhood, because I'm not gonna be like, yeah, bitch, I'm depressed. Like, I'm going through a breakup. I'm reevaluating all this thing, and then
she is not getting paid that much to sit there and
So I'm
be a
just
therapist.
like, the ice cream sundae does it. She's like, oh, I'll give you 2 scoops. I'm like, no, me vas a hacer gordo. No, that's even worse. And it's funny, I can laugh at it now, but at that moment on the plane ride, I realized I just needed a break. And it's not something I'd ever thought of, because I'm just not built like that.
Right.
I've been telling people what to do since I was 15. I've owned my catering company since I was 19. I've had my career for 10 years. I'm always used to like, go, schedule, task. And for once, I'm just like, I need to take care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, then none of this is going to be aligned with what I envision, with what I want. So, it was really hard, and I met with a lot of people. Some people are like, no, you're gonna you're gonna come back a year from now. No, you're not gonna be relevant. Nobody's gonna care about you. So I got a lot of that. I got a lot of people saying like, oh, well, if your career's not here when you come back, it's fine. You could always, just stick to your catering. So there was a lot of mixed options, but deep down inside, I knew that I needed to take care of myself, and I think it's the best thing I ever did because it allowed me to be the person that I am meant to be, and to lead with purpose, and to lead with what does Chris want? I'm so used to not only catering to clients, but I'm so used to making people happy, whether on the screen,
You're a
behind the
people pleaser.
scenes, when I'm meeting people, and we have brand deals, and oh, I have a budget, or oh, but we want you to be a little more like this. Like, oh, these are my favorite meetings where people tell you how you need to act, how you need to be, who you need to be. So for once, I reclaimed all of that. And now when I sit in the meetings, I'm like, this is what I want. This is what we're doing. And the people pleasing has stopped. And it's just allowed me to be a pure, genuine version of myself for myself, not for anyone else.
Let me ask you something, because I as you know, as I get older now, I've tried to change that chip, right? Because I'm like that too. I'm like, I just want everybody to be happy. Like, let's just make this work. Let's just move it along. And the older I've gotten, the more I've gotten like, I don't necessarily have to be like a jerk about it, but I've become a little bit more like, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I'm good. What was it that you found like maybe the hardest about making that switch? Because I think, again, similar to you, I relate to you a lot of things you were saying, which is I'm also very like driven, like go, go, go. Like you've got to, like with like the show, for instance, it's been 8 years now. And so it's like, okay, and if we stop, what'll happen? And I got to keep going because we've built this momentum and all that. So I'm very trajectory focused as well. How did it feel? Like, honestly, the journey to make the decision to say like, I need to reevaluate all of that.
Yeah.
And now you're on the other side of it. Like,
I want people to be happy. Nothing would make me happier than for people to be happy. But it cannot come at the expense of my happiness. And for many years, it came at that expense with partners, with employees, with business partners, with agents, publicists. It came at that expense. And I just realized it had to stop. It had to stop because it had taken a toll on me. Looking back at it now, everything happens for a reason. And
as cliche as it sounds, it's true. It's cliche for a reason.
But it sounds cliche, but it really happens for a reason. And again, after months of reflection, I'm talking about months. Like really, I tried taking longer, but people did not let me. After
me,
months
I'm people. I'm people.
of reflection, I just realized you just got to do you, and stop worrying about whether fulanito's gonna be happy, if they're gonna sleep. No, how do you feel with this information? Because do you see a whole bunch of people trying to please you? Do you see a whole bunch of people asking themselves, is fulanito being happy at night? What can I do to make him feel? Nobody's thinking about that.
Yeah.
So why am I thinking about that? So I just realized I had to stop, and I'm so happy that it has stopped, because it's just a way of it just makes you a savvier human being, because you could still care for others, but put yourself first.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't realize that.
And you don't have to be a jerk about it.
It's like, well, that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to be a jerk. And at first blush, people will say like, oh, you're being selfish. And that's not a bad thing. To a degree, right? Like if you're somebody who all of a sudden just becomes narcissistic and it's only about you, that's a different story. But there's a certain amount of selfishness that I think we should all sort of guard, which is, just enough to make sure that no nos están pisoteando, and that may look like we're being selfish, but no, we're just taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. And by the way, in the process of it, you're gonna lose a lot of friends that are gonna say that you're selfish, that you're only thinking about yourself, that you've changed. But
But you have, and that's not a bad thing.
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And if someone is fighting that you've changed, that's clearly an indication that they're not meant for you. But also just look at it as direction. If they don't want to be your friend anymore because you've changed and you're more focused on yourself, no, that's on you, boo. Like
that's okay.
You're the person that's losing a friend here. You know who I'm sticking to? I'm sticking to those people that stuck to me while I was going through this, while I was changing, while I was becoming my best version. That's who I want around me. The people that are going to cheer me on, that I'm going to cheer on, that we're going to work on this together. Those are the type of people I want around me. I don't want what I call the vampires, que están ahí para chuparte la vida. Y no chuparte nada bueno, like para chuparte la vida. They just want to see what they could get from you.
Yeah.
And then once you start focusing on yourself and they see you're not giving them attention, then that's when they have an issue. No, honey, you are the issue. You are the issues, and you got to go.
Yeah. A lot of times people don't realize that they're the problem.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah. it's very true.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know how to turn it around. But
See, like
you got to it first.
Listen.
Sounds like you use that line a lot.
I actually do.
Oh, there you go.
I do use that a lot. Actually, my secret is out. But I also wanted to touch on something. I mean, obviously, we're both Latino. And I think that whenever you have a modicum of success and you come from, the backgrounds like yourself, immigrant parents, and you struggled and fought and really earned everything that you have. Like, you're no Nepo baby here, right? Yeah. Like, nobody came to you one day and is just like, Chris, do you just want this entire career? Because I'm not using it, right? Like, you clawed and scratched your way up to where you've gotten. And that's just one of the many reasons that I love and respect you. But do you also feel like when that's the case in your mind, you almost are like, shit, I've gotten to where I wanted to be, and now I'm not, I don't want to say you're unhappy with that, but it's like, how do I keep doing this? And people are going to be like, but what are you so upset about? What are you sad about? Yeah. Look, you have everything you've wanted, have you ever felt that? And an additional layer of the Latino guilt? Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is also what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to come and step it up the notch, like, because our parents started here, and now we're supposed to be here. And then the next discipline, is that something that you've just had to kind of come to terms with too?
Yeah, of course. And that line, you have everything you've ever wanted. And the funny thing is that usually when you get what you want, you realize it's probably something you don't even like. And I've gone through that many times, especially in my career. But you just continue to just focus on, the thing is that I feel that many people think that what you wanted is what you're going to want forever. And I feel that now that we're talking about mental health, you have to keep reevaluating and talking to yourself, where am I now? What do I want today? What do I want now? So now when friends ask me, what do you want to eat? And with the food, this is my religion. They're like, where are we going to? I'm like, I'll let you know tomorrow when I realize what I'm craving. The only time I make a reservation is when I know that I really can't get a last minute reservation.
Okay, fair enough.
But other than that, I'm like, I need to check in with myself tomorrow. So I think people just create this big goal and they work towards it. And once they get there, they just give up. And that's what I love about my career, that it's taught me. The goal was never to be just on a TV show, wasn't just to be have a book. No, the goal was to entertain, to bring people together with food, to share recipes, to share laughter. That was the goal. So that goal is not focused on just one thing, because if it were focused on that, I would have been done with that 8 years ago.
You're good.
Yeah, I would have. No, that's why. And today I was speaking to someone and I told them, before I go on these big shows, I still get the butterflies. And it always takes me back to when I was 10 years old and I saw Chef Emerald for the first time on TV, and he goes, bam! Like, it always takes me back there. That's a flashback that exists in my mind on each and every segment that I do, whether it's a small local interview, a national interview, a big show, small show. it just lives rent free in my head because it reminds me. And this is a gift my assistant Michelle, which she turns 10 years working with me this year.
Wow.
Yeah, she's I don't
She's
know
been
how,
through all of
but
it.
yeah. Oh, she knows everything. But she gave me this one gift the first year that we met, and it's my favorite gift that anyone has ever given me. And it's just a frame. And she admits she bought it out of Ross, which I told her, we don't have to say that part.
No, you gotta own it. You gotta own a value.
But it just says a few words, and it says, "Remember why you started." And that is something I take with me everywhere I go because it's so powerful. Many times you could lose track of where you're going in life. But if you remember the why you started, that could be so powerful in itself. And it'll remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. And it reminds you to check in with yourself. And it reminds you to be happy with what it is that you are doing at the moment. Because, many times, especially, and, to go to a few questions prior, you ask, does it get repetitive or boring sometimes, or does it get like, why am I doing this? It does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, especially
look, a job at the end of the day has its
world,
moments.
Yeah, in my world, sometimes, especially, it's just you're like, why am I doing this? Like, but you're just like, and then someone reminds you, oh, because XYZ followers, XYZ this is going to help you with this section of your career, blah blah blah, and you're like, okay. Sometimes I just have to put a little rum in my coffee and make the best of it.
And then you scare Sherri Shepherd with a Platano.
With a
Platano. Things work out, and then you become the meme that does not go away. Like,
But that so what people don't know is that I really truly prepare myself when I do all these things. I don't just, and sometimes I am spontaneous, but I try not to do that, lead by spontaneousness, because I could be so spontaneous that I scare myself. But a lot of the things I do on TV are calculated, and to the human eye, they could be a little spontaneous, but
it makes for good entertainment.
But what people don't know is that, I have a background in acting. I studied acting, so and my teacher taught me. He's like, if you could be an actor, you could be anything in life. You could be a teacher, a police officer. You just have to embrace the role. What does the role require, and just do whatever is needed of you. So, but for the Sherri thing, when we're about to go on these shows, you're with the food stylist and you're going over everything you're gonna say, do, move. Like every movement is already pre-planned.
I didn't know that.
So I saw this big, beautiful, bright green plátano, and they're about to take the plátano away.
Have you seen this clip, by the way, Junior? Okay, you need to see this.
Yeah,
it's
no.
fantastic.
But so they're about to. They're like, okay, since you already have them pre-made, we're gonna take it out. And as they're taking it, I put my hand on the producer's hand. I'm like, leave that plátano right there. They're like, what do you have in mind? I'm like, just leave it there.
It'll come.
And then I was like, it was my first time meeting Sherri. It was my first time just being with all these people. I'm like, am I really gonna do such thing? But Sherri has such a young, fun way of presenting herself. And that's just who she is.
She's very bubbly. Very
bubbly.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that sticks out in my head. She went to the green room without being ready, and we all have all the guys, all the famous actors, we all put our faces on, whatever you want to call it. So I was getting ready, she was getting ready, but she didn't have her face. So she comes in, she's like, "Oh my God, nice to meet." And that's just who she is. So when we were on set, I'm like, something told me, I think she would lend herself for this because she's a comedian before being a host.
True.
So I was just like, leave the plátano there, and then it worked out. And the audience was dying of laughter. Behind the scenes was dying of laughter. And then usually when you leave a set and you just have this feeling like this is gonna go viral. And that's happened to me twice in my life. And both times has it happened.
Was the other time planned too, or was that?
The other time
I am, of course, talking about
it wasn't
about when he is on. We're on Telemundo.
Hoy día Telemundo with Adamaris Lopez.
With Adamaris Lopez. And this gentleman right here decides, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sing the most popular song just happens to be by her ex, who they're having a very contentious divorce.
Yeah, and mind you, the
It
ex
was wonderful.
The ex was having a hit song that had been on the charts for
Despacito. It
months,
was Luis Fonsi.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
once Justin Bieber did the collab with them, it was even more.
bigger,
Yeah. Okay, that's the Taurus in me, where if there's a button that says "Do not press," I will find a way, not purposely. But I will find a way to
believe you
touch
when you
that
say not
button.
purposely.
I did not.
I don't
know
believe you when
because
you
it's
say
not.
not
It wasn't on
purposely.
purpose. I swear to God, it was. However, afterwards, she didn't even hear me.
Oh, she didn't.
No, she didn't. And these, when we're on these TV shows, they give you these earpieces, and I always take them off. For some reason, that day, I left it on, and the reason I take it off is because I like being spontaneous.
Right.
Even if it's a calculated spontaneous, I like being spontaneous. When you have producers in your ear, they wanna take every inch of spontaneousness away, and they want to dictate your life. So that's why usually I just take it off. I'm like, oh, I didn't hear you. But this day I left it in just to hear,
this is why I
and
don't
she
believe
didn't
you
even
when you
hear
say
me
you don't wanna push the
when I
button.
started singing. But the producer says, so when I realized what I had done, and the producer said, dile, ¿qué dijo? And she's like, ¿qué tú estás cantando? And so I was processing what was happening in my ear,
You're hearing it
and what
twice.
was happening in real life, and what she just asked me. Mind you, she's shorter than I am, so she's like, "What did you just say?" And I'm just like, yeah. So the canela. Actually, we were making a coquito. So I'm like, my favorite part is la canela y que no sé qué cosa y no sé qué cuánto. And she's like, no, pero cántala. And then that was her real, genuine self, where she doesn't care about it, you know.
Right, of
because
course.
remember, it's all what people make
at
the
that point,
headlines
it
and
had been a
everything.
while,
And she
too.
doesn't get
Yeah.
over it. No, she doesn't care.
Yeah, but I'm saying also it's not like they had just announced a divorce
But I
the week
wanted to
before.
be No, that was years
Yeah,
ago.
por eso, yeah.
But I wanted to be respectful either way, because I wouldn't want one of my exes to be, you know, even though
Brought up,
I
yeah.
do have an ex that works there, and anyways. But yeah, it's just.
Is that why I haven't seen you on Hoy Dia? It's because an ex is there?
That's why you haven't seen me on another show in that same network. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We started this podcast 8 years ago with one goal: be our authentic selves and make sure our culture was always front and center. It's not always easy, but nobody ever said being bold was easy. And for over 100 years, no café has known that better than Café La Llave. It takes a certain level of bold to unapologetically keep your culture alive. Pero let me tell you, Café La Llave is doing just that. So when you're being true to who you are and hustling to achieve your dreams, of course you're enjoying Café La Llave Cafecito. After all, it's brewed bold for the bold. All right, so now that we're talking, you know, we brought up, you know, the Pasito, and we brought up everything. He's been banned from Telemundo.
I've banned them from.
You banned them? Oh, okay. That's the power of
I
Chris
have
Valdes. He
no,
has banned them.
no.
But no, so this is actually this interview's gonna be airing like literally a couple of days after the start of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah.
And you know, I love whenever I interview, especially like, you know, yourself and other chefs here in Miami, when you guys do kind of go abroad, shall we say? And by abroad, I mean south of Broward.
New York too.
Yeah, exactly. Like south of Broward. I mean, north of Broward. I love how you guys, and I'll bring it back to you, how you so just genuinely represent the culture in a way that doesn't seem like, you were just saying like, oh, it's calculated spontaneity and all this and that, but it doesn't seem forced or fake or Americanizado, shall we say, right? And I'm thinking specifically to one of the times that you were on live with Kelly, and I don't remember right now if it was with, I think it was with Seacrest, because if it would have been with Mark, he's has Spanish background, so it wouldn't have.
There's a whole mix of stuff there.
Right, but that's why I'm like, I don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
But I think you were making like empanadas de guayaba y queso that time, and you were just so genuinely like, it wasn't, you know, a guava turnover or whatever. It was like, no, this is an empanada con guayaba. Yeah. You know, you were very authentically like Latin.
Yeah.
And I love that you've done that. Have you gotten any pushback at all? Like showing up and just trying to be like, even the Platano thing, right? It wasn't, you didn't call it like a plantain, you know, it was like, oh, it's a Platano. Like it just came out.
I never focus on pushback. I don't focus on what other people are saying or doing.
I'm just wondering if those producers have been in your ear, you know what I mean? Saying,
And sometimes I've done things on TV that they have been on my ear, and afterwards there's repercussions and things like that. Um, Whatever. But I feel that I think that what I am selling to people, um, aside from food and my culture and my stories, is myself. So I have to be my most authentic self, and that includes uh, when someone like when a gringa says something that they're like platano, I'm like platano. Like we have to coquito. I'm like coquito.
Right. Like,
Vaca frita, vaca. I'm
put
like
the
no,
emphasis in
no.
the right place.
So
Yeah.
and it's just not only is it funny for TV, but it's a great moment to teach them something about your culture. Just how they're quick to correct you, and you learn something. It's a great way to just learn from each other. And then in the case of when things like that happen on TV, not only does it make for great TV, but it's also a moment to also inform others that are watching. And remember, TV is something very powerful.
Yeah.
So I mean that's how I'm part of it, because I saw it as a 10-year-old, and I was so grasped by what I was watching. Someone like the magic that happens with someone who's just cooking, and from that I created a whole career.
Just cooking.
Well, yeah, no, the guy was, I remember, was
It's
doing
not
so
just
many
cooking.
things. Like, yeah, you're right. He's not just cooking. But I feel that more than ever, we live in a time where it's very important to embrace who you are and your culture.
Yeah.
And
1000%.
especially for Latinos in this time, if that means bringing some Spanglish to daytime English TV, if that means bringing recipes that people have never heard of, which I've done before,
Yeah.
if that means bringing up a new ingredient that everyone's like, did we just discover that? Like, it's just the perfect opportunity to just bring people into our culture and remind them, you love our food. We support you. We pay our taxes. We're not stealing
order.
jobs. We are doing the work that
Many times
Americans don't like
Many
to
times
do.
others
Like,
don't
let me
want to,
invite
yeah.
you all to Homestead, where we are picking out tomatoes and lettuce. Americans don't want to do that. So it's the perfect opportunity to just remind them. And I'm not saying inform them. I'm saying remind them, because they know.
I like that.
Remind them of everyone's like, oh, Taco Tuesday, but then everyone's like, the wah. And I'm like, you cannot say the wah and then Taco Tuesday. No.
Yeah, right.
So
They're not handing it through.
And me, I'm so proud that I built a platform where I could involve my childhood, my family, my culture, the arroz con mango of what our Hispanic universe is.
It's so nice.
Because I think that's what it's about just sharing our culture, our experiences, our stories, our recipes, what runs in our blood. And I don't know about other chefs, but I'm just being myself. That's just what I'm doing. I'm not. This is not an act. This is, if you go to my house, this is just who I am, and it's just what I do. Yeah.
I will say, I've even said it on this show where it's like, when you get me and Darian, like, it may be a heightened version of us.
Yeah. Obviously.
But it's us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and to your point where it's like, just because you're in front of a camera, it doesn't mean that you're being a caricature or a character. It's still who you are. It's just understanding how to, like, to go with Emerald, how to kick it up a notch over here to resaltar a little bit more, on camera.
Yeah. I've struggled with that throughout at the beginning of my TV career, because Bobby Flay on Food Network Star, he and you could rewatch the episode, and he says, do not make a caricature of yourself.
Yeah.
And I was not being a character. I was being my authentic self. So to him, that's what I was being. To me, I was just representing my Latin culture. At the time, was I well seasoned like I am now? Was I
It was a few years ago, right?
Well, the thing is that I started my career on YouTube. Right a year later, I'm on Food Network Star, freaking biggest Food Network show there was at the time. So, jumping from little YouTube series to there was a big ass jump.
But also,
so
you
did
were
I
how
have?
old at the time of the YouTube? You were like, what, you said 26?
I was 25, 20. Let me see. I'm 34 now, so I was like 24, 25, something around
You
there.
were still figuring out.
Yeah,
how
I was.
to
I didn't even know what
portray
the
that.
Chris brand was. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what we were selling. What we
Yeah.
sometimes I'm even like, what are we selling? Like, people ask me
You were
these
cooking
questions.
in a banana suit.
No.
Or was it a chicken suit? Wait, which one was
I was
it?
in a chicken suit and a Batman suit. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and it's okay. I don't regret any of that because it all helped form who I am today. And I think the reason I wore those type of things was just to get into character of making people laugh, of making people to tune in to just watch whatever made food more exciting.
Right.
So in the name of that, I'd still do that today. I don't know if I would go with those same suits, but
I'm glad you said that. I brought
and I
some
was like
Batman
twerking.
suits.
No, no, that was a horrible one. And since we were filming, I actually fell and no one helped me up. So I'm there, and then the mask is like attached to the cape, so it was like pulling my neck. And I'm like, someone help me.
You're like, and that's how I almost died.
But I stayed in
being
the
Batman.
voice, in good acting. Yeah, I was like, somebody help me. And they're all just dying of laughter, but no one's helping me. I'm like, really, I can't get up. And everyone's like, they're just dying of laughter. And I'm like, no, really, someone.
Like,
and it's not
this
a
is
I'm
not
like,
an act.
ayúdame. And then I go in
Okay.
Spanish.
When you
And
went into
then
the Spanish
when I
mode, then
speak
they're
in
like,
Spanish, everyone
they know they gotta step it up.
And people are like, Chris, on TV, you speak such a neutral tone. Are you really Cuban? I'm like, oh, I'm Cuban. And you know how you know that? When I get angry, I will speak to you in a Cuban way that you didn't even know I could speak. But that's how you know.
Don't mistake
And let me tell
neutral.
you, and the youngsters usually, like my nephews and things like that, when they see me speaking Spanish, they're like, oh,
Feels pissed.
Yeah, he
Feels
means
pissed.
business. Yeah.
But let's not be pissed right now as we draw my attention to this that I've been looking at out of the corner of my eye the entire time we're
Yes.
sitting here. All right, so you brought this because you always bring a treat whenever you
Yeah.
swing by. All right.
We have to. So this is
This
so I
is
love Coquito,
absolutely- Okay.
and I love Tres Leches.
Okay.
And then a
how you
few
make
years
this,
ago,
isn't
I
it?
had this idea of doing a Coquito Tres Leches. And then I've done this same video reel like 3 times, but in different
on.
ways.
I need to take a picture of this thing
And
with
this
my own
one-
camera while it's happening.
This one was people keep commenting on it and everything, but I've done it years ago. But it's just a perfect mix. And then someone asked me the other day, "Hey, isn't it too early for?" I'm like, "Cállate la boca."
No, shut up.
I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it has rum.
Yeah.
It has cinnamon. It has carbs. What more
What
can
more
you
do you want?
ask
Stop
from
being
life?
annoying.
This is like everything you need in a day.
Like what's wrong with you to be like
Yeah.
it's too early? No, it's like because I'm not gonna eat the whole thing because I'm gonna save some for Junior
Yeah. Okay. There you
because I'm nice that way. Wait, this doesn't have nuts in it, right?
go. Okay. So.
What is it? What is in this? What is in
So,
this?
the
I asked this
Coquito-
now just so that I
okay.
don't kill you.
So the
is my
recipe,
goal.
if you go on my Instagram, does not have nuts.
Okay.
But today, by mistake, I was looking for my expensive vanilla extract.
Okay.
And I thought I had it in my hands. And typical chef, remember, I'm not a baker, I'm a chef. And I have some great desserts, in my sleeves. But it doesn't come to me as
Which you
naturally
can
as
find those recipes in his book.
yeah,
by the way.
or Instagram or wherever or Google. Like
I'm
that's
trying-
how I find my
I'm
recipes.
trying
I
to give you
Google
book
them
sales,
myself.
okay? Like,
Oh,
it's in his
thank
book,
you,
yeah.
you. One with the kitchen on Amazon. Okay, so when I pour the whole thing, and then I taste that, I'm like, huh, eso no sabe vainilla. And I try it. I'm like, why does that taste like almond? And when I look down, I put almonds extract. And instead of stopping there,
sorry.
I'm like, no, let me fix it. And I add vanilla extract. So now it tastes like almonds and vanilla extract. And let me just say,
I'm not
it
opposed to
tastes
that.
good, but my mom was like, tú le pusiste amaretto a esto. And I'm like, no, but you taste the almonds from the almond extract. So it's but it's a Coquito Tres Leches, and it's not
Okay.
supposed to have almond, but for today,
So
it's
I got a limited edition.
it's sure.
I got
Yeah.
a limited edition version of it. All right. That smells good.
Yeah, so it's freshly made. You should taste the rum, the cinnamon, the coconut.
Oh, dude.
It's a little mix of everything. I put some edible flowers, and my favorite thing about the edible flowers, I tell everyone, I'm like, and edible flowers, and then once they have them in their mouth, I'm like, but that doesn't mean you should eat them because it just adds
No real.
nothing. It adds not the fact that they're edible just means that you're gonna digest them and you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
But is there a purpose to eating
Is
them?
it good for
No.
fiber?
Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not a nutritionist. What I do know is that like mint will add a great flavor
Right.
to your mouth, to your palate. But the edible flowers just add a little bit like
You're
something
you're
is in
really
there.
selling those edible
So
flowers.
I tell them edible flowers, and then once it's in their mouth, I'm like, but that doesn't mean you should eat them. And then everyone usually goes like, and takes it out.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, but I will continue to eat this thing.
Yeah, and for me, I brought myself some coffee.
Dude, it's really good. That is really good. Like, I know it was a mistake, but it's really good.
No, but that mistake is not going to be. In cooking,
now people are gonna want you to repeat it because
in,
now it's been.
in cooking, there's a lot of trial and error, and that's what I like about cooking. You learn from your mistakes instantly. And as a caterer, I've learned most of my lessons instantly from all of my mistakes. But and usually you're like, wow, this is something I need to continue to do. And sometimes you create an amazing dish out of your mistakes. This is not one of them. So the almonds is just.
I will say I disagree with you because it tastes fantastic.
Okay, if we were to put some crushed almonds on top, or maybe some sliced almonds, and then swap out the vanilla for the almonds, and maybe take off the coconut and just leave it as a regular tres leches, and just maybe then. But the thing is that when I tried it, my palate, and I have a very sensitive palate. Like I could taste anything to the T. It scares me. But once I tried them, it's just like the coconut, the almond, the vanilla. It was just all over the place.
He comes on here, he calls me old, says I don't have a refined palate.
No, you have
you see how
Pero
it
bien
is?
refinado, pero
Oh no!
this
I
is
don't. I don't have a refined palate, by the way. I don't. Darian will be the first one to tell you. Like I'll eat like when we're doing sauces.
Which one is it? Do you want the refined palate or not?
Oh no! I just wanted to bust your balls.
Oh,
Like, that's
okay,
what I wanted.
okay,
Yeah.
well, that's
Because like
easy.
Darian will be like when he's doing sauces for piman pollo, he'll be like, "Here, try it." And I'm like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "It tastes good." And he's like, "No, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I need you to tell me like, does it have too much this, not enough
That's
that?"
funny.
And I'm like, "But it just tastes yummy."
I do that
don't
too.
know.
And when I use people as guinea pigs, that's called the guinea pig method. It's very important. If we don't get like we don't want it. We go back to the drawing board. Let's do something again. We want a facial expression that you just put something in your mouth that you have never tried before and that you like. But if you're doing like the memes, we don't want to see that. So we want like ooh, wow.
The thing is, I love everything. I love all foods.
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna.
But even with
You'll never
those type of characters, do you find a moment that they go like, you put your foot in that, like,
Okay.
and then there's times where they're like, did you put your foot in that? Like,
There's a stinky foot in there.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, that's what we're looking for. So just keep that in mind the next time you go critique his food.
Fine, Darian. See, I'm taking notes to make sure that I
There you
do
go.
it right.
And
that I
just
do it
teaching
right.
you, yeah. And with other chefs, because it could hurt their chef ego. I don't have a chef ego.
I wouldn't say you do, but all chefs have an ego to an extent. It's
I don't really.
it's how big or small.
I think my mom taught me at an early age, para los gustos se hicieron los colores.
True.
Everyone has different tastes. And mind you, I'm such a picky eater, so I totally understand this, that not everyone is going to like your creation or the flavor profile or everything. And don't take it personal. It's just based on what they like and what they don't like. That's it. I feel that my chef ego comes out when there's someone that's just trying to be abusive to the staff. That's when I will attack you. Or when someone, usually a new little waiter is like, let me test my little waiter skills here. And it's usually the one that's been like, I worked here and I worked here and I worked there. That's usually the one that you will use to make an example to everyone about. And then everyone will know not to fuck with the chef. So
See, look at how nice he
So
is.
it's not a chef
Look at-
ego,
with,
it's
with that
just
little baby face, and then he turns around. And he's like, yeah, I'll make an
it's just,
example of you.
I'm running a team here. I'm running something,
Right.
and you're not gonna come and ruin it for me,
That's true.
or for and in the name of the whatever it is you're doing, the
Because it reflects on
service,
you at the end of the day.
the servers or something. Yeah, because at the end of the day, who gets all of the faults? the caterer, the chef, the person running the team.
The name.
So I'm gonna, and sometimes I don't even care about the name.
No. But I'm saying, what I mean is like the name on the business card. Like
Yeah.
that's who's gonna
Oh,
get
yeah,
the
yeah,
blame.
yeah,
Like
yeah. But sometimes I care more when I'm in caterer mode. I care like when I'm doing my events at American Airlines for 5,000 people. Fuck my name. Fuck Chris Valdes. What I care about is perfection. I want to make sure that people are getting the experience that they paid for.
Right.
That people are taking something with them. That's what I care about. To the point that for the past 5 years, when I cater for American Airlines, the CEO has been there, and every year they come to me and they're like, "Oh, we want to introduce you." I'm like, "I don't want to meet anyone right now. I am making sure for 12 hours that I'm here that this shit is perfect." And that means I don't have time to meet no CEO or anything. I'm so happy he's here. Let him go, say hi to the employees and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm focused on running this ship or whatever you want to
job
call
well
it.
done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's how I've retained them as clients for like 9 years.
I think that's also why just people gravitate towards you.
I don't
And
know.
people
I
like
just,
you.
I just like doing a good job.
Well, yes,
I don't
and
know.
listen, and I know it's a mistake, but I appreciate the good job you did.
Well, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey,
I am.
I'm glad my mom enjoyed it too. So
There you go. So
I used her as my guinea pig
Yes,
first.
me and your mom have good taste.
Yeah.
There we go.
Funny story. Every year that I make the coquito, this is my mom. Every year I make the coquito, I'm a lightweight. I get drunk super easy. And for me, anything with more than 2 tablespoons of alcohol is heavy. My mom one year, and she made this a few years ago, but she uses the same joke every year. She thinks I don't remember. But I'm like, "Mami, ¿puedes probar si eso tiene suficiente alcohol?" Le puse 2 dedos de rum. And this is with the coquito.
Okay.
And she usually gets her fingers, Cubans,
Of course.
And she goes like that, and she's like, "Está bien rico. Pero esto tiene alcohol." I'm like, "Yeah, mami, le puse 2 dedos." Dice, "Pero 2 dedos así o así?" And I'm like, so that was a few years ago.
I'm gonna go drinking with your mother.
Wait,
Is that more of the story?
That was a few years ago. Oh, she's gotten me drunk before. But wait, that was a few years ago. So then last year, I took it out on my mom, and I was in charge of the coquito for a party we were doing for our CrossFit friends. And I spiked up that fucking coquito so much that within the hour, I had everyone so fucking drunk. And everyone was like, "Is this rum or rum flavored coquito?" I'm like, "You could thank my mother, bitches, because she makes fun of me every fucking year."
So this year
that she tried it, she's like, "Esto está fuerte." I'm like, "Te lo traga, because this is what you caused."
I love it. You're like, this is your fault.
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Te lo traga. I'm not
I don't wanna
drinking this
hear
shit,
it.
but you're gonna drink this shit,
You're not gonna
and
hear-
because this is your fault.
I don't want to hear you say shit.
Yeah, but and obviously she doesn't complain. She's like, "Fine." she goes
She asked
down.
for it.
Yeah, she has wow. Jesus gave her an amazing drinking capacity, because if I drank that much, like I'd be probably on the stop sign naked. Like,
Pero bueno. I thank you so much for coming back.
we should go to Key West.
We should. That's where we're gonna go now. Actually,
Yeah.
that's where we're gonna go. It's
Yeah.
I'm not really wearing much clothing, so I'm already halfway there.
No, me, I have to cut the pants.
We're halfway there, pero thank you so much for coming by
It's
again.
great seeing you, and congratulations on all your success
Thank
and
you.
everything you
Likewise.
guys are doing here, and continuing to be part of our culture and our Hispanicness, and staying true to who you are. That's what I love the most about. Pero let me tell you, like the only flans shirt you had. That I was like, "You guys are on OnlyFans?" And you're like, "It says OnlyFans." I'm like, "Oh,
He's like,
yes."
this took a turn
Yes.
for a very
I'm
interesting
like,
angle.
"Well, I love supporting you guys, but I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna pay $5 a month for that.
I'm
No,
not subscribing
not
to
subscribing.
not even a free membership.
Like
Am
and
I
subscribe.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
But okay, it cannot be another like 5 years before you come back.
No.
All right.
Don't wait for the next
And
mental breakdown.
I'm gonna bother you, so you're not gonna get away that easy.
Yeah, no. But I'm so excited for everything you guys have working on yourselves, and yeah.
Thank you. Likewise, and I can't wait for February for the eats.
February for the eats,
party.
but there's so many things happening from here to then. There's the Food Network New York City Wine and Food Festival.
That's right.
There's the St. Petersburg of Savor St. Pete in Tampa. There is the March of Dimes event that I'm also going to be working with, and a few other events that I don't remember right now. But
the bottom line is there's a lot of Chef Chris going around. You're back, and we love that you are.
Yes, and I'm so excited to be back.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by.
Yay!